Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/future. That's trustandwill.com/future to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/FUTURE.
This podcast is sponsored by IQ Bar. I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar. Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. Thanks for checking in. We're live on YouTube TV, Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio as well. Busy hour coming up. We're going to dive into tonight's NBA card. I have a bunch of bets in the same game. Pauly's got a bunch of props for the action as well, plus best bets from Steve Wyss in soccer this weekend. And right now, more on the AFC title game as Andy Gresh joins the program now, longtime radio veteran. Has hosted shows here on VSiN, Mad Dog Sports Radio, ESPN Radio as well, on the Progressive Guest Line. Hey, Andy, what's going on, man?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Doing really well. Let's start here. Look, the schedule has been a thing for the Patriots the entire year. Like, when people break down the numbers, it's like the easiest for a playoff team since 1999. It's part of the equation. It's part of the whole, it's baked in, right, to the goods here. Is it overblown at this point? What do you make overall of the competition they have played going into this game, taking on a backup quarterback?
Well, I kind of look at it this way, guys, that was the schedule soft? Yeah. But what you do is you hammer that soft schedule and you put yourself in a position to play good teams, right? Now, are we gonna look at the Chargers and just say, nah, they're not a good team? Or do we look at Houston and Lord knows everybody pumped up their defense last week and everybody forgot about the Patriots defense and, C.J. Stroud was epically bad. So I think we look at the performances of the team the Patriots have played, and it's like, well, maybe they really weren't that good. It's as simple as this. They whooped up on the teams that they needed to get cracks at alleged big boys, and they're now 2-0. And they haven't even put together their best game. So people can hoot on the schedule all they want. How do you then how do you then put into context the last 2 weeks? Are we just going to change our minds on the Chargers and the Texans because New England won and then it no longer fits the narrative? So at the end of the day, it ain't a big deal. Vrabel, if they win this one, it's 17 wins in his first year. It's insane.
It is, no doubt. And I know regardless of who's on it, to win 15 of 16 in the NFL is impressive in the run that they're on. So what else all changed? Because they were a dumpster fire last year. How Vrabel can come in and just and do this and have them in position to go to the Super Bowl like that.
It's as simple as this. They were prudent in free agency where they attacked holes like right tackle. Instead of banking on Caden Wallace, they said, let's go get Morgan Moses, and he's been great. I know they were lucky to get Bradbury, and then they drafted the left side of the offensive line. you got a competent adult offensive coordinator in there in Josh McDaniels, who, remember last year, guys? Oh, my God, the wide receivers suck. They can't do anything. And then you bring in McDaniels, and these guys look functional all of a sudden. It's more than just having Diggs out there. Those guys have all developed under Josh. I can't stress enough how much Gerard Mayo, to me, was not focused on winning football games and didn't know how to focus on winning football games. Mike Vrabel told a very close friend of mine the day that Vrabes took the job, he said, I know what's wrong here. I'll get the building right inside a month. And a lot of people left the organization who pushed Gerard Mayo during mandatory OTAs, Pauly, to take a day to do good, right? To go see the sick and the indigent and the kids and the old people and stuff, which is very noble, not for a first-year head coach when they're in the middle of mandatory OTAs. So I just think, the organization went way off the exit ramp. And when Vrabel came in, he was like, we're going to focus on winning.
Okay, very good answer. Andy Gresh, our guest here on the Progressive Guest Line. I should also mention that he is a longtime veteran covering Boston sports, lives in the area, has done radio there for several years on top of it, so he knows these teams and the Patriots very, very well. All week long now, we've had guests on, bettors, heard from bettors, odds makers, people who cover the Broncos in Denver. They're like, don't panic. It's going to be okay. Not that big of a drop-off from Knicks to Stidham. They're going to be in this game. I want your perspective as a guy who is from New England. What do you make of the Broncos suddenly now having to play a backup quarterback?
Okay. William Hoodsworth Belichick, very smart man. He drafted Jared Stidham in 2019. The reason Cam Newton played in 2020 was because Belichick said, nah, this guy ain't ready. He ain't it. So they brought in Cam, and we went through that horse crap for a year of, basically it turning into the wishbone offense run by Josh McDaniels in a lot of ways. So how has this guy grown? In a way, and I know you guys follow UFC. There are some guys in UFC who disappear for 18 months, and when they come back, they're a completely different person. Am I supposed to believe that through all the stops of Jared Stidham and just being around Tom Brady for a year and Sean Payton for a couple of years, that by osmosis, this guy is going to be able to just jump right into the fire of AFC championship game speed, guys, not wild card speed, real big time. I mean, the game is moving fast. And I'm supposed to believe that this guy has grown and matured without playing football just because who he's been around. I don't know what to expect from Stidham, but I know it's not much. And there's a much better chance that he is going to soil himself than he is make himself a star and $50 million a year.
Okay, that's the answer I've been waiting to hear.
All right.
Honestly, that's the first time I've heard it, and thank you for presenting that side of it.
I mean, we have to be realistic that how was this guy supposed to grow? And by the way, if Bo Nix is such a good quarterback that Jared Stidham is that close, I mean, I guess then if Stidham plays well, you can punt on Bo Nix because eventually you'd have to pay him, and it's cheaper to just go with Jared Stidham. I think there is, as Tim Thomas said about Roberto Luongo, there's a lot of tire pumping going on right now when it comes to Jared Stidham. And even Sean Payton, he can be optimistic as all get out. Even he doesn't know what he's getting from this guy.
It's also unprecedented to be. It's the first time it's happened where a guy's going to throw his first pass of the season in a playoff game. And back to your point too, how are you going to improve and get better when you're never in the game?
Well, guys, and Paulie, let's add another layer to this, right? So those wide receivers, Franklin and Bryant, that's 27% of their receiving yards. Those guys might be out. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they're down to the third string center. So not only do you have a neophyte at quarterback in there, you have maybe your third string center in there as well going against Milton Williams, where they're going to line that guy right up over Stidham and make him realize that one of the best defensive linemen in football is right there to kind of snatch him a little bit. And guys, I also think too, for as much as people talk about the Denver defense and the way they blitz and they got those edge rushers, Myles Garrett's a great player. He got 5 sacks against the Patriots for Cleveland, and New England still won by 21 points. So I think it's nice to have the edge rushers, but really those interior defensive tackles. Let's go back and look. Go to Aaron Donald with the Rams, right? And then Chris Jones multiple times with the Chiefs. Big Milt for Philadelphia. And now if you're New England, you've got that interior D lineman bleeper who, to me, on a down-in, down-out basis, has a bigger impact on the game than the flashy pass rushers.
Okay, so I have a ticket on Drake May to win the MVP. I don't think he's going to win. I'm pretty sure that's going to go to Matthew Stafford. I have said many times in the last couple of weeks, I think he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback for the next 10 years, although it did come against an easy schedule in the regular season. He hasn't been great, Andy, the last couple of games in the playoffs, and they were fortunate to recover some of those fumbles last week. It's his this is by far the biggest game for him as well. So what does he do in this game if they drop down 10-0 and he can't stop feeling the heat because Benito and the guys from Denver are bringing it the entire time?
Well, this is where the legs come into play, Pauly and Mitch. And look, I have been screaming on television locally, let the kid run. Not to where he can go get foobarred, right? But you mean to tell me an appropriate time zone read where he's kind of just trickling on the outside? We haven't really seen Josh McDaniels go to that yet. And look, I know that Drake's he's had a concussion history, so they do have to be careful. But Mitch, think of this. If with Josh McDaniels calling plays, if there are over the course of the game 5 runs that are called for the kid, that slows that group down. And the Houston Texans, I was on the field last week and talked to somebody from the Texans, and they thought that they were going to have Drake May run all over them, and that wasn't the game plan at all. To me, this is the week where you turn the kid's legs loose. 75 yards rushing, and if it's, here's the blitz, let me take off, then fine. Make it that easy for him. But I say turn him loose. I love the May rushing 40. I think it's 40 or more yards. I thought it was plus money last time I looked. Mm-hmm. I'm a little fuzzy on it, but to me, guys, I think that's a great play, because if they're going to heat him up and guys aren't open, the kid's athleticism will take over.
So in about a minute left here, is that your favorite prop of the weekend, or what is your best bet overall?
Oh no. I like the Drake May rushing over prop. I don't hate Drake May on a rushing touchdown, because I think that's an easy way to, I don't want to say it's cheap, but that's an easy way to get a cheapie at the goal line, is to set something up for the kid to have a power run or to be able to zone read it and kind of get to the outside. Let's also remember that, Marcus Mariota, I think, was the dude who really heated up this defense. And what did they do? Roll him out to the left, roll him out to the right. You could see May on the rollout, and then all of a sudden it's there, and he picks up 20 yards, and he's halfway to that prop.
Yeah, he was the guy. Final score on Sunday, who wins? What's the score?
I'm trying to remember what I went with. I think I kept it close, along the lines of like 26-23, something like that. I don't think New England covers the point total, but that 5.5, I don't know. It feels steep. I think it's a 3 to 4 point game.
Okay, fair enough. You can follow Andy on X. He's at The Real Gresh. Thanks, man. Enjoy the game.
Anytime, man. Appreciate you.
Andy Gresh on the Progressive Guest Line. VSiN host, Mad Dog Sports Radio. ESPN, longtime veteran, by the way, in New England as well, on their airwaves there. We'll get into tonight's hoops card. A lot of people like to bet on bounce-back games. Well, how about this? Their team played last night and lost, and he was 1 of 15 from the floor.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable. And I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/future. That's trustandwill.com/future to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/FUTURE.
This podcast is sponsored by IQ Bar.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
It's a pretty big NBA card tonight. Some really good games. You can attack it various ways. I would say that the Lakers and the Clippers is probably the marquee game of the night, and this is a very close point spread, and it's different at various books. For example, FanDuel has Clippers, the designated home team in this game, a 1-point favorite. Other books like DK, they have the Lakers favored by 1 or 1.5 points. Pretty clean for the Lakers on the injury report. Reeves obviously still out. That goes without saying. Derek Jones out for the Clippers. Bogdanovich still out, obviously. And Kawhi, as of 15 minutes ago, still listed as questionable for the game tonight.
Clean. We should be able to eat off the floor. This is an interesting angle here. Give me about 30 seconds. Hear me out. Unbelievable story yesterday on ESPN.com. It's about the Buss family. And buried in that article is Jeannie Buss getting fed up with LeBron, according to sources. That he was ungrateful after they drafted his son. She didn't like the power he had over the organization. They wanted more credit for bringing him to L.A. and also washing his hands of the Westbrook trade, which was an unmitigated disaster, even though it was LeBron's idea and LeBron pushed for the trade. She had to come out and release a statement today, and I'm sure he's going to be asked about it tonight. I am expecting a big performance from LeBron and also to come out in what could be his final year in Los Angeles. There was also, she didn't want to extend him, and she also floated the idea of trading him to the Clippers as well. Interesting timing. Also, who they're playing tonight.
Okay, so you want to bet like PRA over? You want to go points?
I'm just going to stick with points, and it's 23. It's $1.10 at DraftKings. But I think he has a big performance offensively. See what happens with Kawhi, but also hard to get a read on this Laker team where, it's been horrible defensively going back since mid-December, other than the second half against the Nuggets.
That's it, yeah.
Which was a good performance. So I don't know what to make of them defensively, and if they're going to make a move here at the deadline coming up, and that's going to be a lot of fun in less than 2 weeks, what happens around the league. But he'll be asked about it today. Jeannie came out with a statement. It's an incredible article. Also how she went with friends and others over family with the sale. But I think LeBron has a big game, but still tough with a side here.
The points, rebounds, and assist prop for LeBron, about 34.5 in this game tonight. Can he go out there and give you 27, 8, and 6, like a typical LeBron performance?
Sure.
I think that could be possible here.
Yeah.
Now, why'd she have to come out and shoot it down? Was the story lying? Were those quotes made up?
I have so much respect for him. And
fake news, Paul? That doesn't happen. Was it Baxter Holmes who wrote it?
Yes.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable journalist.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's incredible at what he does.
Oh, it's a long article.
That stuff is not made up.
Yeah.
So, on the record, I get it. She has to come out and try to save face. But that stuff all happened if he's putting it in there.
Okay. There is a money quote in there, too, where she told the younger brother, Joey or Jesse, you're a mistake. You weren't supposed to be born. I mean, there's some unbelievable stuff in there of how this goes back, which, okay, still the guy walks away with like $500 million, but he was publicly fired. And then, according to a telephone call, she said you weren't supposed to be born. They weren't supposed to happen. So that's something that's incredible. Something I would say to my sister. But nevertheless, as the world turns.
Was your sister an accident?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
No.
By the way, so I brought this up a couple of times before when it first came out on Netflix. The show Running Point is actually well done. It's pretty funny. I laughed at it a handful of times.
Yeah. Let's eat in this Dallas game. Now, bad news that Flagg is only going to play 20 to 25 minutes, so I can't get involved with his props. But a guy I have to circle again is Marshall, and he's been on a roll for Dallas, and he's 15.5, 16.5 with his points prop. I think he goes over with a game has a high total. See how Golden State is now without Butler as they move on. But a guy here that just, I mean, it fits for kind of like a Klay Thompson revenge game, though, doesn't it? He's had some great games against Utah. He's had some games where he's going off shooting threes, and you know how he felt about why didn't you give me my big contract after everything I did for the organization, and he had to leave the Warriors and no more Splash Brothers.
All true. Also, Jimmy Butler's out for the year. We saw what happened in the first game without him. They gave up more than 140 points to Toronto. By the way, quickly had, 40-plus in that game and had 7 threes. So defensively, you're going to lose one of your best defenders out there the entire time. 234.5 is a total like you talked about. And they've been playing now in a couple of back-to-back games that went to the moon with their scores. So Klay, his last 7 games, over 9 attempts from downtown, and he's shooting really well at the moment, 4.6 makes per game. That's 50% from downtown. His prop tonight, 2.5 minus 145 territory. I bet it. Last 12 games overall, he's averaging almost 4 makes per game and over 2.5 in 5 of those 7 games and over 3.5 in a lot of them as well. He has played, he did play 26 minutes at Golden State on Christmas. Did not have a good game. 3 of 8 overall. 1 of 4 from deep, had 8 points. Butler and Green both played in that game. Also, on the Golden State side, without Jimmy Butler, we saw what happened the first game with Jonathan Kuminga.
Yep.
He scored 20 points in 21 minutes. His prop tonight's 11.5. I played 15-plus at plus 176. And did you see what Buddy Hield did?
No.
With more minutes now. Played 19 minutes, had 25 points, 6 of 6 from downtown. So his points prop tonight is 8.5. His 3-point prop earlier before the show started, 1.5 was minus 138. I laddered him up to 3+, and I played 10+ points at a plus number as well. All of the bets coming up with the official numbers here in about 20 minutes in Pocket Place.
So your tease. No one likes to be embarrassed. Is there a bounce back tonight? I couldn't believe this. This game stayed under by like 50 points last night.
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball was 1 of 15 and 0 of 10 from 3. And a minus 16 for the game as they lost to Cleveland, which they actually came back and made it a game. And he was that bad. 1 of 15 performance. Now they have a back-to-back. What do you think of Charlotte tonight against, I think I lean Orlando here. But
it's their first game back, by the way, from that trip over to Europe.
Uh-huh.
Their first game back. Memphis did lose last night. That game did go over against Atlanta, but Memphis was favored or, pick them in that neighborhood, and Atlanta got them by a bucket. LaMelo Ball was also questionable for the game tonight. He's now available. Brandon Miller is also available. It looks like they're going to have pretty much a full complement of players out there for this game. I would expect a bounce back here, and they're one of the best teams in the league at covering numbers. They just happen to have a big-time dud last night, and they couldn't score any points, and he was a major reason why. Let's be honest here. If he has an average game last night, they win the game.
That doesn't happen in today's NBA. Like in the 80s?
No, that's rare.
That's unprecedented.
Yeah. So I haven't bet it yet. I would actually look at Charlotte bouncing back now that both those guys are available. But I'm not involved.
All right.
So
let me give you some hockey. Ottawa's played 11 straight first period overs. They're in action tonight.
Hello.
Seattle plays tomorrow. They played 9 straight first period overs. Buffalo's in action tonight. 12 in a row, goal in the first 10. 21 of 25. And your big boy, Connor McDavid, at home, going for 14 games in a row, over 3.5 shots on goal.
You sure you want to do that after what happened last night with the Mammoth defenseman?
Kind of tough one, I know. Didn't have a shot.
Went to overtime, did not have a shot on
goal.
You
believe that? I know. That was a 21-1 run. They all can't win, Mitch.
I'm looking at, I know this. Ottawa at FanDuel over 1.5 in the first period. You said 11 straight?
Yeah.
Minus 128.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's do this again.
Digging on Nashville.
What was that, 5 years ago? Right when football ended, it all started. Follow the money 5. Let's get it going. There's a lot of candidates here and a lot of teams that have some firepower and hopefully can get this going and get that up there. Buffalo, Seattle, Ottawa. Colorado's fallen off for a bit, but yes?
Do you have a number on Buffalo for goal in the first 10 for tonight? I'm looking over 1.5 against Montreal is minus 140 for the first period.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that's one way to always look at it too. So the game total is 6.5, first period 1.5, and not juice that like minus 220 like they got in that first year. So when teams are on these hot streaks, like when Colorado was, until that cooled down, even when they were super hot scoring those goals in the first 10 at home, here at Circa, they would post $1.60. So I doubt Buffalo was any higher than that.
Oh, 225 at Caesars. Oh,
yeah,
come on.
I'll check Circa. There's no way it's 225
that can't
at
be
Circa.
220. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Can't be that high. That's goal in the first 10, by the way. That's Buffalo, Montreal.
I think they post, I'm pretty sure they post every game at Circa for goal in the first 10. I typically only look for the Avalanche games. No, they have it up. It's $1.80 here.
Okay.
Yeah, so 45 cents cheaper at Circa.
All right. Been a hell of a run. Keep it going, guys. And keep it going, McDavid. And it's a big game playing Pittsburgh.
$1.15?
Yeah.
Okay.
McDavid, yes.
Steve Wyss, the Meat Man, coming up next. We'll get his best bets for the soccer weekend in the Prim and beyond coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Get some best bets in soccer this weekend. Go out to the Progressive Guest Line. The Meat Man, Steve Wyss, joins the show now. He is with the Betting Weekly Studios and Because We Win podcast. Meat Man, pleasure as always. Thanks so much for the time. Let's begin in the Premier League on Saturday as we get Fulham taking on Brighton. Overall, how did you want to attack this game from a betting standpoint?
Well, hello, guys. I hope you're doing really well. I'm confident in quite a few winners, actually, this weekend. My tail's up. I think I've got a few good reads, and this is the first of them. I like Fulham. Draw no bet here. I really expected Fulham to be probably closer to even money, really, just on the money line, and they're actually around about plus 150. So we can take the whole draw no bet handicap, full refund if it ends in a tie. But ultimately, Fulham, they've only lost one match in the last 7, and that was last week at Leeds. I called that one. That didn't surprise me, but really they're quite a solid team, dependable team. Brighton have only won one of their last 8. That was against Burnley, who were in the bottom 3. This Brighton team often look good, but I feel like they're a bit of hot air sometimes, if you know what I mean. They're a bit flashy, but they just don't get enough good results, really. So I think the most likely win is definitely Fulham. They're an underrated side in the Premier League. And this is a good chance to get on the home team here. The draw no bet handicap, minus 125. I give them the edge.
Let's go. Let the Meat Man eat. Now, how about this one? Man City, you haven't taken play. That's a 470 favorite on the side. But 3.5 total against Wolves, and they're at the bottom of the table. After that dreadful performance in Champions League where they refunded their supporters. What do you make of this one?
Well, I think they should have refunded the flights as well because they had to travel all the way to the Arctic Circle for that defeat against the Norwegian team Bodo Glimt. Really, really poor from Manchester City, but they haven't been very good recently. I think they've struggled in all areas of the field, really. Offense hasn't been firing. Haaland seems tired. The manager said he needs a rest. Even the defense has been a bit dodgy, but they have signed some players. Mark Gahey from Crystal Palace. That's going to really boost their back line. I'd expect him to come straight into the team here against Wolves. The bet I like is actually under 3.5 goals. It's at -125. Both teams this season, only 5 of their 22 Premier League matches have gone over 3.5 goals. So I think this will be an under. Wolves actually have been 0-0 at half time in 6 of their last 13 Premier League games. So they've been steadily improving. We know recently that their sort of plan has been to restrict and frustrate their opponents, and they're just going to park the bus, as we call it here, against Manchester City, try to be solid. And Manchester City probably only going to win this match 1-0 or 2-0, I think, based on what I've seen recently. They might not even win if they keep this sort of form up. They've got a big Champions League to look forward to the week in midweek against Napoli, so their minds might be looking ahead on that. And I think Wolves can be competitive here, and I don't see them getting blown out big. So the under is my bet on the game, under 3.5 goals at -125.
Let's go to Sunday, the early matches. Brentford against Nottingham Forest. Why you like Brentford?
Just because they're one of the best home teams in the Premier League. They actually got the 4th best record of any team in the Premier League at home. 7 wins, only 1 defeat, which that came against Manchester City early this season when City were in good form. And this Nottingham Forest side is continually under pressure. Just 1 win in 8 matches in all competitions. They lost a match in the Europa League today, 1-0 against Portuguese side Braga, and they somehow lost, a rare instance of this, where they didn't concede a shot on target, but they still lost. Basically, they lost because they scored an own goal. So, and they also missed a penalty in that game. Things are just not right for Forest. Everything seems to be going against them. The manager, Sean Dyche, is under continual pressure from an owner who is he likes to fire his coaches. So this is not a good spot for Forest. 3 days after travelling to Portugal, they're in a relegation battle against one of the toughest physical home teams in the Premier League. So Brentford, for me, money line, -105 looks a great bet.
Also 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific Sunday morning. Chelsea against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, it's got to be Chelsea for me, money line. I'm amazed we can get plus money here because Crystal Palace have been a continual fade probably for the last 6 to 8 weeks on schedule, on actual injuries. And now they've got internal problems because the head coach, Oliver Glasner, he's definitely leaving at the end of the season. But he said he doesn't feel supported by the owner. He doesn't feel supported by their transfer dealings. It wouldn't surprise me if he walked away before the end of the season. And they've just lost their best defender, Mark Gahey, to Man City, like I said. Their top striker, Mateta, he's handed in a transfer request. He wants to leave the club. Not good times for Crystal Palace. And Chelsea really should be winning this game. They've got a good record against Palace, unbeaten in 17 head-to-head meetings. The last 3 have been draws, but before that, Chelsea won an incredible 14 games in a row against Palace. So they usually get up for this match, which is 2 teams in the London vicinity against each other. This is an obvious bet on on Chelsea plus money just to win the game against a Palace side or a continual fade.
Follow the Money, Pauly and Mitch Vyss in the Sports Betting Network. The Meat Man, Steve Wyss, our guest. The Meat Man Soccer on X, Because We Win pod on the Progressive Guest Line. I love your pod and the work you do with Nigel. And where you're recapping and previewing soccer. This is picking up some steam. They play Sunday. What do you think of Arsenal 50-1 to win the Big Four competitions?
I think probably it needs to be under consideration. I'm not going to bet it myself because this has happened before with the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool, and they look amazing at this time of year. And then something goes wrong in, say, a semi-final or even a final of a competition. But I think Arsenal will win multiple trophies this season. I think they'll win the Premier League. And it's very likely they'll win one of the other cups. So, for those who think that Arsenal are going to win everything, this is the time to get on them now. Because if it was Man City in their sort of prime, then it would be, 15-20-1 tops. I don't think they will win all 4, but I think they will win at least 2. That's the way that I see it.
Okay. And one match Monday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Everton and Leeds. Make the case for the under, please.
Well, I think both teams recently have just not looked like conceding that many goals. I think is probably the best reason why. Leeds, 4 of the last 5 games under 2.5 goals. Everton, 6 of their last 7 Premier League games under 2.5 goals. And if we take away the crazy 4-3 result for Leeds at Newcastle, which is the exception of late, they have defended immaculately. And I'm not sure Leeds will concede a goal here. The reverse fixture, it was the first match of the season, actually. Leeds won 1-0. It was a late penalty. And Everton surprised everyone last week by beating Villa 1-0 away. No one saw that coming. The main reason they managed to do it is because they defended so well. And I think they are going to try and make sure that their former striker, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, won't score against them. Their top playmaker, Jack Grealish, is ruled out injured for 3 months. Struggling to see how Everton score. And I think Leeds will struggle against this defence. It's a 0-0. The 0-0 detector is definitely beeping here for this Monday night game.
All right, excellent. And let's go to one of the lower leagues. What's your case here at the bottom of the championship? Do you want a piece of Portsmouth here?
Yeah, this might surprise quite a few watchers and listeners, but this is actually a really high-profile fixture. Both of these two sides absolutely hate each other. The rivalry is intense. They're both on the south coast of England. And Portsmouth, they've not played each other much in the last 15 years. That's one thing to say. And when you don't play each other much, the rivalry seems to go even bigger at times. So Portsmouth are looking to beat Southampton for the first time in 16 years. I think they're a big price. I don't think they should be the underdog. I'm going to take them draw no bet at plus 130. Portsmouth are in a real scrap against relegation, but their form has been improving. Just 1 loss in 7 for them. So they're trending upwards. And Southampton have been a real disappointment this season. I expected them to actually win the league. But what has developed is it's shown a real soft underbelly of the players. They just don't get themselves. They're not tough enough. And in this sort of match here, the crowd's going to be right on their backs. I think Portsmouth are the team to trust more in what will be a passionate encounter. I certainly don't think they'll lose. This could be a draw. But at Portsmouth, draw no bet looks far too big in a game which could get very spicy. There could be cards and everything here.
Very good. Maybe shouldn't even be the dog that you said. Okay, you can follow Steve on X. Yeah. He's at Meatman Soccer with the Betting Weekly Studios and Because We Win podcast. Thanks, Meatman. We appreciate it. Best of luck this week.
Thank you so much, guys. You take care.
Appreciate you.
Be good. We got news today in Denver. Pat Bryant, full practice today. So,
wow.
Right?
That is a surprise.
They peppered him with 3 straight catches on Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday. Get my days mixed up.
You were loving 25 yards each half, 16-1. You were halfway home.
So props are up on him right now at a bunch of spots, as low as 30.5. Who does Stidham throw to?
Right.
Ingram is 19.5. Sutton is 45, 46.5. Marvin Mims is 20.5.
How about that guy? 250-1 last week. Most receiving yards. 93 got it done.
What a way to begin that game. I thought the guy in the Bill special team, he was a heat-seeking missile. And both guys were just laid out on the field. And then, that's got to go to a commercial break. But Bryant's going to be able to go. Oh, yeah, good to go. Like every book has him posted now for the most part.
Let's see if a bomb cashes again. Because in the other game, you got Puka going against JSN. So most receiving yards is, see, 3 weeks in a row if we can have a monster hit.
Yeah, that's where you want it, right? Where you want those two guys to be involved. And then a Parkinson pops up at 80-1, and boom, there you go. We have a lot of bets to get into coming up. Our in-pocket plays next on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable. And I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/future. That's trustandwill.com/future to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/FUTURE.
This podcast is sponsored by IQ Bar.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
The guy has an algorithm to determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day.
No way.
I'll give you 3 to 1 odds.
Nope.
5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right. The Mikhail Sergachev prop comes to an end, at least with a great streak. Home games, 21-1 overrun. Defenseman for Utah. And we got overtime. And Bubkas in that one. That was a loser. Now the pending. Going to be a fun weekend and a lot going on. Cooper Kupp over receiving yards. Henry as well. Go back, listen to the podcast. Chad Anders with a great breakdown on why he thinks Henry's going to eat. And the middle of the field's going to be open against Denver. Patriots all the way around the world. And again, the incredible season the Patriots have had first half. Just ridiculous numbers. Cashing these first half tickets. Puka over 5 rushing yards. We could get that on a throw behind the line of scrimmage as well. And to the new. Good card tonight. NBA, NHL, right back with McJesus. 13 in a row at home, over 3.5 shots on goal. Marshall over points for Dallas. Flag on a minutes restriction. Marshall's been great for the Mavs in what should be a high-scoring game. Goal in the first 10, Ottawa and Nashville. Ottawa, 11 straight overs in the first period. Blazers, I forgot about this game. This is a bad spot. Now, I like this Miami team, and I love Spoelstra. $1.25 on the money line. I'm well rested. You're playing your 4th game in 6 days and you're on a long road trip.
Yeah.
I like the spot for Portland. Both teams, 33-yard field goal. Field goal each quarter in the NFC title game, 4-1. Both teams to make a 33-yard field goal, $1.40 in the NFC title game as well. Williams, 5 rushing yards each quarter for the Rams and 25 rushing yards each half, plus 190. We lost by a frickin' yard against the Bears because you know what McVay can do. And he only had 2 carries for 6 yards in the second quarter. But based on how well he ran it in the Thursday night game, and I think he's going to be a big key to the game plan and important with the offense and getting the rushing attack established early on. I think that's a fun prop up at Caesars that he can hit. And there'll be a lot of carries in that one.
All right, Paulie, best of luck. Go get him. Sam Hauser over 2.5 made threes last night. That was a winner. Player props in the NBA. Hopefully it continues tonight. That's the graded from last evening. Pending Hornets to make the play-in 4-1. I hope they bounce back and get the Magic tonight. Who knows? Easier said than done. Magic first came back from that European trip. Hornets 84 points last night. LaMelo Ball 1 of 15 from the floor. The new stuff. I'm with Charch earlier today. And RJ Harvey under 43.5 rushing yards right now is plus 105. They gave him the ball 6 carries last week against Buffalo's 28th ranked rush defense. The Patriots are number 1 against the run.
Yeah.
Going to get 45 yards. I'm betting against that. Tonight, high total, Warriors and Mavericks game, 234.5. No more Jimmy Butler. The first game without him. The game went to the moon against the Raptors. Klay Thompson has been pretty hot lately from downtown. Last 7 games, 9+ attempts, more than 4.5 makes, 50% overall. Last 12 games, if you want to go back even further, 8.5 attempts, almost 4 makes per game. 2.5 tonight. Over that is minus 145. First game without Butler. Well, who's going to pick up the scoring slack? Off the bench, it was Jonathan Kuminga as one of the guys. He went for 20 points in 21 minutes. Tonight, I'm playing him 15-plus points at plus 176. If you don't want to go that high, his prop is 11.5. And also, Buddy Hield last game. 25 points in 19 minutes, took 6 threes, hit all of them. So I'm playing 10-plus points at plus 130 in the game. Over 1.5 made threes at minus 135-ish. And Buddy Hield over 2.5 at plus 215. So a lot of props from the same game. That's it for me.
Go get him, kid. Football meets flavor with VEASAN and Omaha Steaks, the official sponsor of tailgating. Right now, when you spend $129, 2 pounds of fully cooked wings, 50% off site-wide. omahasteaks.com/VEASAN, delivered right to your door. Incredible burgers, steaks, shrimp. Look at the menu. The Franks, awesome. All the options they have. omahasteaks.com/VEASAN. Minimum purchase required. As we talked about the other day when Kraft was on a Boston radio station, we're going to 18 games, don't worry. And Mike Florio took it a step further. How about 20? People can't get enough of sports. And Miami, Indiana, most watched college football game since 2014.
Most watched college football game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also the huge numbers, though, in the NFL playoffs, too. Buffalo, Denver, most watched Saturday TV show since the 94 Olympics. It's a monster.
Pretty good.
And 93 of the top 100 shows are NFL games.
I wonder what the number would do for the college football game if they put it on the Friday night before on Monday night.
That's better.
I think the Friday night is better. You play that Friday night, then you set it up for the 2 divisional round games on Saturday, and there you go. So 5, by the way, coaching jobs have been filled in the NFL as well. Earlier today, Jesse Minter got the Ravens gig. So the openings are Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Arizona, and the Raiders. The short shot right now, this number keeps moving, but it's Brian Dable. He was minus 115 yesterday offshore. He's plus 125 as we speak. Joe Brady's 4-1. Kubiak is plus 450. And Davis Webb has drifted out to 6-1.
Okay.
Well, it's better price than yesterday. You want to still hop in? You're going to get a better number. You can get this number on Kalshi.
I think the Raider thing's real, too.
For Webb.
Yeah.
He is 3-1 to come out here.
Are you surprised? If Dable, you'd think he'd blow him away in the interview and they just say, okay, but talk to more people. I don't know.
Here, okay, so let's go over the candidates right now listed on the odds board for the Raiders and the Browns. Clint Kubiak is the guy for the Raiders, minus 110. Then Davis Webb, then Mike LaFleur. McDermott is plus 750. Brian Flores is 9-1. Again, he's going to re-up with Minnesota as the DC only if he doesn't land another head coaching job. And then you get down to Joe Brady, Mike McCarthy, Chris Shula. Are they going to end up settling for a guy like Mike McCarthy out here?
Come on.
Please, for the love of God, tell me that's not the case.
I don't hate McDermott. That's actually not bad out here. But it's everything you're seeing is hearing is Kubiak or Webb. But maybe Kubiak.
The next Pittsburgh head coach, Chris Shula, Rams DC minus 150. I think it makes a lot of sense.
There was a guy in the media who's a longtime Steeler fan who thinks they're going to hire Big Mike.
He's plus 475.
Oh, man.
No, that's not their...
No, they go young.
They go young. Guy that could be there for a long time. Defensive-minded was what Tomlin was. Shula, kind of the same thing. He'll get a job at some point, so that would make, I think, a little bit of sense there. Now, Vance Joseph is out to minus 160 for Arizona. Do we want to wait and see what happens in the AFC title game?
I don't think anything will change there. I would be definitely concerned, though, how bad the defense has played down the stretch, and he didn't do well the first time around.
Yeah. And do they want to go defense again?
Yeah, good point.
Gannon was there for a handful of years. Didn't go well. McDermott's next up on the board at plus 375. Is Joe Brady going to get a shot?
I thought he would.
There was so much steam when he was the passing game coordinator, for Joe Burrow and LSU during that run?
Yeah.
But still, you fast forward to today and he hasn't had a gig yet? It seems a little odd to me.
I mentioned, too, Buffalo. 12 in a row goal in the first 10, thanks to the viewers and other people. It's $1.65 at FanDuel. So a big difference in that one. While we shopped at as well.
Right.
I want you to read this Jeannie Buss story tonight.
I'll get to it.
Because another thing that's fascinating is how Dr. Buss did the trust. I can't remember how it's called, tranche or something, whatever. It was designed as last man standing. Like if a kid died, if one of the bus kids died, then his share then goes, that's knocked down to 5.
Right.
There's 6 kids. Someone passes away. So it was designed where the 2 younger boys wanted to wait them out, and then it was just freaky. As one person said, though, what incentive you had to whack somebody? I mean, come on. You're talking about $1 billion here or more, and how the trust is set up where it's last man standing. There was even like a grandchild clause in there too,
so
where if someone passed away, then it would go to their kids, and then they would suddenly walk into $1 billion or $500 million.
Sure. Now, did the kids all hate each other?
It's ugly at the end. Yeah,
it's not just
they all start with a J. Johnny hasn't spoken to Jeannie only like 3 times in the last 4 or 5 years.
So they don't have
and then she fired Jimmy.
Yeah, sure.
And then when Jimmy was running the show, he hired and fired Byron Scott while she was at the movies both times.
Yeah.
It's wild. It is absolutely wild.
Okay, so the angle is because of her naming LeBron, calling him out in that story.
Yep.
LeBron goes off and has a big game tonight.
I think so, yeah, because he's going to be asked about it afterwards.
Oh, there's no question.
A lot of stuff. I wanted to trade him to the Clippers. We drafted his son.
It feels like that would be, they're always looking for an edge, right?
Yep.
Some motivation.
I'll show you.
LeBron is a monster tonight. Stay tuned. VSiN Primetime next. I'll take you through the live betting evening as it plays out into Dustin Sweetelson tonight and cashing out at 11 o'clock Eastern. Good luck tonight.